Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video I will be talking about percentage. So what is a percentage? So a percentage is a specific portion in every 100. So now, what are some examples? So 5%. 5 out of every 100. 15%. 15 out of every 100. 40%. 40 out of every 100. So you get the idea. So now, how is a percent denoted? We have written percentage as a fraction form, but it's not actually denoted like this. So a percent would be denoted as 5%. So this is how a percent is denoted. This would be 15%. This would be 40%. So now there are many ways to write it. So 5% could be written as this, or it can be written as a decimal form. So 0.05. 15% can be written like this, fraction form, and 40% can be written as this or 0.4. Now, don't think that percentages can only be values under 100. They can also be greater. So 150% can be written as 150 over 100 or 1.5. So now the question is, where are percentages used? So when you go inside a store and there's something that is 5% off the original price, you're not paying exactly 100% of the price. You're paying 5% less. Also, when you have tax, so minus 5%, when you have tax, there's a certain amount, let's say $10, and there is a 10% tax rate. So then you would pay 10% greater of the $10. Also, you would see it in school. So when you get a test, when you get your test result back and it says 95%. So out of the questions, which is a total of 100 marks, you got 95 points. You would also see it in loan. When you take a loan from the bank for, let's say, $50,000, there is a annual interest of 10%. Then that means every year you would pay 10% of this back to the bank. So now we have a question. A t-shirt costs $40 and there's a 40% discount. What's its final price? So I'm going to go over two ways on how to solve this. First is the traditional way, and the second is the simplified way. So first of all, there's a t-shirt that costs $40. $40. And there's a 40% discount. What is its final price? So first, let's find the discount. So $40 into 40%. So this is 16. So now what is 16? 16 is the discount. So now what would we do with the discount? Well, we would take $40, which is the original price, minus the $16, which is the discount. That is equal to $24. This is how much you pay for the t-shirt. Now, this is a really nice way. However, there is a quicker way. So if there is a $40 t-shirt, let me just erase this real quick. So what I just showed you was the traditional way. So now this is the shortcut method. So now there's a t-shirt which is $40. This t-shirt, which is $40, is 100%. There's a 40% discount. So minus 40%. Now what does this leave you with? 60%. So 60% of 40 is going to be the amount. So we cancel out all the zeros, and $24. And if you check back, you will see that this is the same amount we got when we did it in the traditional way. So they both work. However, if you're taking a time test, then this is probably the way to go. So now let's do an increase problem. I will do traditional and then I'll do simplified. An item costs $20. There is a 20% sales tax. So now what is the amount that we pay? So this is the original amount. So 20. This is the amount we pay due to tax. So now what is the final amount that we have to pay? So we take the original amount, which is $20. Then we take the $4 that we pay because of tax. And that equals $24. So now this is the traditional way. Now let's do the shortcut method. So there is a 20% state tax. So this $20 that we have over here, this is 100%. Now we're paying an extra 20% because of state tax, which is equal to 120%. So now basically the way we should do to solve it is 20 into 120%. So that gives us 24, which is the same answer, and this is just a shortcut way. So now let's do some practice problems. So obviously, traditional, shortcut. 40% of 60. So now how do you find this? So 40% of 60. Zeros cancel out and we get 24. So what is the shortcut method? Well, if we can just cancel out these two zeros and we remove the percentage, we multiply 4 and 6 and we get 24. Now, I'm going to prove that this works with this question as well. 110% of 50. So 110 over 100 into 50. These zeros cancel out and we get 55. So now let's do the shortcut. We cancel out these two zeros, so 11 and we forget about the percentage, so 11 into 5 is 55. And see how we get the same answer on both sides. Now this question is a little bit more interesting. First, let's do the traditional. So 25 over 100 into 75. So we have these two zeros and they don't really cancel out with anything. So what we can do is 75 times 25, which is equal to 1,875. Now we have these two zeros remaining. So if we just cancel these two zeros, we're going to move the decimal places 2 places, and now we get 18.75. But now you may be asking, well, what is the simplified version of this? So the simplified version is first finding 20% of 75, which is, these zeros cancel out, we put 1 there, 15, and now we add this with 5% of 75. So now what is 5% of 75? Well, these zeros cancel out. Now we get 3.75. So now what do we do with 3.75 and 15? Well, we add them. So 15 plus 3.75. And what do we get? We get 18.75. So this is a method that you can use when you're dealing with questions like this. So basically earlier I had shown a question like this. And maybe you guys have been wondering why I canceled out the 2 zeros and I left these ones alone. Well, that is because percentage means dividing by 100. So canceling out these 2 zeros if you draw on the whole scale, these would also cancel out. So then 11 would multiply into 5, and we would actually get 55. But now I'm going to show you a case where if you canceled out all the zeros, the answer would have been wrong. So let's do it. So let's once again use 110%, but now rather than using 50, let's use 500. So if you canceled out all the zeros, you would have once again gotten 55, but that wouldn't actually be the correct answer since there's only 2 zeros down here in the 100. The correct answer and the correct way to solve it is 110 cancel out only 2 zeros, because then on the larger scale the 2 zeros of the 100 would cancel out and the actual answer would be 550. Now let's do some final practice problems using the simplification method. So as I've already said, when you're doing percentage problems, you're always dividing by 100. So just remove 2 zeros and multiply, and you're left with 5. Same for this. Remove 2 zeros, multiply, and you're left with 21. Now, for this one, we can solve this question as 30% plus 10% divided by 2. 30% we have already solved, and it's 21. So what is 10% of 70? That is 7. Divided by 2 is 3.5, and we get 24.5. Same thing for this question. You can do 60% plus 5%. So what is 60%? Well, we have 150. And what is 5%? Well, once again, we can use 5% as 10% over 2. So what is 10% of 250? 25. And that divided by 2 is 12.5. So that equals 162.5. That's it for this video. If you found this video helpful, please do like and subscribe. It does motivate me to make more videos. And I'll see you in the next one.